I watched my coworker stand in front of the executive team and present my project as his own work. 3 months of late nights, weekends, problem solving. My innovation, my design, my code. With his name on every slide. The executives were impressed. They praised his creativity and technical skill. He soaked it up, smiling. I sat in the back of the room, silent, waiting. When he finished, I raised my hand. That was great, Kevin. But I have a question. Would the executives like to see version 2.0? The enhanced version with additional features? Kevin's face went white. Because there was no version 2.0, not one he knew about. This is the story of how I let a credit stealer have his moment, then destroyed his career with an improved version that proved I was the real creator. My name's Alex, and I worked as a software developer at Data Flow Systems, a tech company specializing in data analytics tools. I'd been there for 4 years. Good developer, solid reputation, worked well with the team. My coworker, Kevin, had been there about 2 years. He was in a similar role, same level, same pay grade, same responsibilities. Kevin was competitive, not in a healthy, let's push each other to be better way. More in a, I need to be perceived as the best way. He'd take credit for team wins in meetings. He'd name drop projects he'd barely contributed to. He'd position himself as the lead on anything successful. But he'd always been subtle about it, never outright lying. Just ... strategically omitting other people's contributions. I didn't love it, but I didn't think it was worth making a big deal about. We were all on the same team, right? That was my mistake. 6 months ago, our VP of Product, Lisa, announced a new initiative. We're getting feedback that our reporting dashboard is clunky and outdated. I'm looking for someone to redesign it, make it modern, intuitive, and faster. This is a high visibility project. Whoever takes this on will be presenting to the executive team. High visibility. Executive presentation. Career-making opportunity. Several developers expressed interest, but Lisa chose me. Alex, you've been doing great work on the back-end optimization. I think you'd be perfect for this. Interested? Absolutely. Kevin, sitting nearby, looked annoyed. But he smiled and said, "Congrats, man. Should have been my first warning sign. I spent the next 3 months building the new dashboard. This wasn't just a UI refresh. This was a complete redesign. Technical work. Rebuilt the entire front-end architecture. Created a new API layer for faster data retrieval. Implemented real-time updates. Designed a modular component system. Optimized database queries, 60% speed improvement. Design work. Modern, clean interface. Customizable widgets. Drag and drop functionality. Mobile responsive design. Dark mode option. User experience. Intuitive navigation. Contextual help system. Keyboard shortcuts. Accessibility features. I worked nights and weekends. I tested every feature. I got feedback from users and iterated. I was proud of this work. It was probably the best thing I'd built in my career. Throughout development, I'd share updates in our team meetings. I'd show demos, get feedback, discuss challenges. Kevin was always there, always interested, always asking detailed questions. How did you implement the drag and drop? What framework did you use for the charts? Can you walk through the API structure? I thought he was just being supportive and learning. We were teammates, after all. I even shared my files with him a few times when he asked to see the code structure or understand the architecture. Big mistake. 3 weeks before the executive presentation, I had a working beta. It was 95% complete. Just needed final polish and testing. I scheduled the official presentation for 3 weeks out to give myself buffer time. Kevin asked if he could see the latest version. I'd love to give feedback before the big presentation. I walked him through it, showed him every feature, explained the architecture. He seemed genuinely impressed. This is incredible, Alex. You're going to kill it at the presentation. Thanks, man. I'm pretty excited about it. You should be. This is Executive VP promotion material. That should have been my second warning sign. Kevin was never that complimentary. Scene before that one. PC. 1 week before my scheduled presentation, something strange happened. I got an email from Lisa's assistant. Hi Alex. FYI, Kevin has scheduled a presentation about the new dashboard redesign for this Friday at 2 p.m. with the executive team. Lisa asked me to confirm you'll be there to support. I read that email 3 times. Kevin scheduled a presentation about my dashboard to present to executives. I immediately called Lisa. Lisa, I just got an email about Kevin presenting the dashboard on Friday. I'm confused. That's my project. Oh, Kevin reached out to me earlier this week. He said you two had been collaborating on the project, and he'd put together a presentation to show the executives. He said you'd been swamped, and he wanted to take some work off your plate. My blood went cold. Lisa, Kevin hasn't worked on this project at all. I've built the entire thing myself. Really? That's not what Kevin implied. He made it sound like a joint effort. It's not. I've done 100% of the development and design work. Well, this is awkward. Kevin's already scheduled with the executive team. I don't want to cancel on them. Can you both present together? I guess. Great. I'll let Kevin know you'll be co-presenting. She hung up before I could object further. I immediately went to find Kevin. Kevin was at his desk, typing away, looking casual. Kevin, we need to talk. Hey man, what's up? What's up is you scheduled a presentation about my dashboard project. What the hell? Kevin looked surprised. Oh, did Lisa tell you? Yeah, I thought I'd help you out. You seem stressed about the presentation, so I put together some slides. Thought we could present together. You put together slides about work you didn't do? Come on, I've been following the project. I gave you feedback. I helped think through problems. You asked questions in meetings. That's not helping build it. Look, I thought I was being helpful. If you don't want me to co-present, just say so. The way he said it, like I was being unreasonable, like he was the victim, made me furious. But I took a breath. Fine, we'll co-present, but I want to see your slides first. And I want to be clear about who did what work. Of course, I'll send you the deck tonight. That evening, Kevin sent me his presentation. I opened it and felt sick. It was my work, my screenshots, my architecture diagrams, with Kevin's name as the author, with language like I designed, I implemented, I created. My name appeared once, in small text on the last slide. Special thanks to Alex for development support. Development support. I built the entire thing, and I was credited with support. Friday arrived. The executive presentation was scheduled for 2 p.m. The attendees, CEO, CFO, VP of Product, Lisa, VP of Engineering, and 3 other executives. High stakes, career-defining moment. Kevin and I walked into the conference room. Kevin had a confident smile. I was seething but staying calm. Lisa introduced us. Everyone, Kevin and Alex are here to show us the new dashboard redesign. Kevin's been leading this initiative. Kevin, the floor is yours. Leading this initiative, Kevin had positioned himself as the lead. Kevin pulled up his presentation and started talking. Thank you for having us. I'm excited to show you what I've been working on for the past 3 months. What he'd been working on. He walked through the slides. My architecture, my design decisions, my code. I decided to rebuild the front end using a modern framework. I implemented real-time updates. I designed the interface to be intuitive and user-friendly. Every sentence was him taking credit for my work. The executives were impressed. Kevin, this is exceptional work, the CEO said. The performance improvements are remarkable, the VP of Engineering added. This is exactly the kind of innovation we need, Lisa praised. Kevin beamed. Thank you. It was challenging, but I'm proud of what I accomplished, what he accomplished. I sat there, silent, watching someone else get praised for 3 months of my work. Then Kevin said something that made my decision for me. Alex provided some development support along the way, which was helpful. Some development support. That was it. I was done being silent. Kevin finished his presentation. The executives applauded. Any questions? Kevin asked confidently. I raised my hand. Actually, Kevin, before we move on, I have something to add. Kevin's smile faltered slightly. Oh, sure. I stood up and walked to the front of the room. Kevin did a great job presenting the dashboard. But what he showed you is actually what I'd call version 1.0, the beta release. The room was quiet. Kevin looked confused. I've been working on version 2.0, an enhanced version with additional features. I thought the executives might want to see the full scope of what's possible. Would that be okay, Lisa? Lisa looked surprised but nodded. Sure, go ahead. I connected my laptop to the screen. Kevin whispered, "What are you doing? We didn't discuss this." I ignored him. I pulled up my presentation. But this wasn't the same slides Kevin had shown. This was better. So, version 2.0 includes everything Kevin showed you, plus several enhancements I've been developing. I demonstrated an AI-powered recommendation engine, predictive analytics features, advanced customization options, integration with external data sources, a mobile app prototype, features that were 80% complete, but Kevin knew nothing about because I'd been building them separately. The executives were leaning forward, engaged. "Alex, this is incredible," the CEO said. "When did you develop all this?" "Over the past 3 months, alongside the core dashboard. I wanted to have advanced features ready for phase 2. Then I showed the architecture diagram. Here's the technical structure. As you can see, it's built on a modular framework that allows for scalable expansion. Always. Oh, I walked through technical details that Kevin couldn't possibly have known because he hadn't built any of it. The VP of engineering started asking technical questions. "Alex, how did you handle the real-time data synchronization?" I answered in detail, explaining the WebSocket implementation, the caching strategy, the database optimization. Kevin was silent. He couldn't answer these questions because he hadn't done the work. And Kevin, the VP of engineering, turned to him. "What was your approach to the API rate limiting?" Kevin froze. Alex handled more of the back-end implementation, ... Alright, but you said you built this, the VP said slowly. That's when I went for the kill. Actually, since we're discussing implementation details, I thought it might be helpful to show the development timeline. I pulled up the project repository, the version control history that showed every single code commit. The screen showed hundreds of commits. Every single one had my name on it. March 15, initial project setup, Alex. March 18, front-end framework implementation, Alex. March 22nd, dashboard layout design, Alex. End of commits. Thousands of lines of code, all attributed to me. Kevin's name appeared exactly 3 times. Once fixing a typo in documentation, once updating a configuration file, once asking a question in a code comment. I also have the original design files, I continued, pulling up Figma. Created March 16th, last edited by me. I showed the file edit history, my name on every single change. And the presentation deck that Kevin showed you earlier. Here's the original version I created last week. I pulled up the document properties. Created by Alex. Last modified by Kevin. Yesterday at 11 p.m. The room was dead silent. The CFO spoke up. "Kevin, did you create this dashboard?" Kevin's face was red. Alex and I worked together." "The evidence shows Alex did all the work," the VP of engineering interrupted. "Every line of code. Every design element. Every architectural decision. Your name appears 3 times in 3 months of development. I provided guidance and feedback." "Feedback isn't authorship," the CEO said coldly. "Alex, did Kevin contribute to the development of this dashboard in any meaningful way?" This was my moment. I could be diplomatic. I could soften it. But Kevin had called my 3 months of work development support. "No," I said clearly. Kevin attended team meetings where I presented progress updates. He asked questions, but he didn't write a single line of code, create any designs, or contribute to the architecture. "This is 100% my work." The CEO turned to Kevin. Did you tell Lisa you'd been collaborating on this project? Kevin stammered. I thought we were collaborating. Did you imply to her that you'd done significant work on this project? It's a misunderstanding. Did you schedule this presentation without Alex's knowledge and present his work as your own? Kevin had no answer. This meeting is over, the CEO said. Kevin, Lisa, and HR my office, now. The executives filed out. Kevin walked out looking like he might throw up. Lisa looked furious, at Kevin, not at me. The VP of engineering stayed behind. Alex, I apologize that you had to expose that in such a public way. You should have felt comfortable coming to us before it got to this point. I didn't know Kevin was going to do this until 4 days ago. By then, the presentation was already scheduled. What he did was unconscionable. Taking credit for someone else's work is one of the worst things you can do in this field. What happens now? That's up to HR and the CEO. But I can tell you, we take intellectual property and credit theft very seriously. There will be consequences. He shook my hand. And Alex, version 2.0 is exceptional. We'll want to discuss timelines for implementation, and potentially your role going forward. Thank you. Kevin was suspended that afternoon, pending investigation. HR interviewed everyone on the team about Kevin's work on the dashboard. Every single person confirmed he'd done nothing beyond attending meetings. Lisa apologized to me directly. I should have verified Kevin's claims before scheduling the presentation. I'm sorry. It's okay, Kevin was convincing. Still, this should never have happened. HR's investigation took 3 days. They reviewed all project files and version control history, email communications, meeting notes, Slack messages, witness statements. The evidence was overwhelming. Kevin had systematically stolen credit for my work. 1 week after the presentation, Kevin was fired. The official reason: misrepresentation of work product and violation of professional ethics. But everyone knew what it really meant. He'd stolen credit and gotten caught. Kevin tried to sue the company for wrongful termination. His lawyer dropped the case when they saw the documentation, the commit history, the file metadata, the witness statements. You can't fight timestamps and version control. 2 weeks after the presentation, Lisa called me into her office. Alex, we've been discussing your role and your work on the dashboard project. Okay. We're promoting you to senior software developer. $25,000 raise, plus a bonus for the exceptional work on the dashboard. I was stunned. Thank you. You've earned it. We also want you to lead the version 2.0 implementation. You'll have a team of 3 developers working under you. My first lead role, managing a team, building out my vision. I'd be honored. And Alex, I'm sorry you had to fight for credit for your own work. That should never happen here. I appreciate that. That was 5 months ago. The dashboard launched 2 months ago. Version 2.0 went live last month. Both have been hugely successful. User satisfaction is up 85%. Performance metrics exceeded all targets. The executives are thrilled. I'm now a senior developer leading a team. Got another raise during my last review. I'm being considered for a lead developer position. The dashboard project became my career launcher, not because of credit theft, but because I had the evidence and the courage to stand up for my work. Kevin tried to find another job in tech. It didn't go well. When potential employers called for references, they got the truth. Kevin was terminated for taking credit for work he didn't do. That's a career-ending revelation in the tech industry. Your reputation is everything. Last I heard, Kevin left the industry entirely. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't feel bad about it. He made his choice. Here's what I learned from this experience. Lesson 1. Document everything. Version control, file metadata, timestamps. These things saved me. Always have proof of your work. Lesson 2. Don't share work prematurely. I gave Kevin access to my files because I thought we were teammates. That was naive. Lesson 3. Stand up for yourself immediately. I should have shut down Kevin's presentation the moment I learned about it, not waited until the day of. Lesson 4. Evidence is everything. Accusations mean nothing without proof. But with commit history and file metadata, you're untouchable. Lesson 5. Credit theft is career suicide. Kevin thought stealing credit would advance his career. Instead, it destroyed it completely. The best part of this story isn't that Kevin got fired. It's that I learned to advocate for my own work. For years, I'd been the quiet developer who just put his head down and worked. I didn't promote myself. I didn't seek recognition. But this situation forced me to stand up and say, this is my work. I created this. I deserve credit. And once I did that, everything changed. I stopped being invisible. I started getting recognition. I advanced in my career. Sometimes the biggest revenge isn't what happens to your enemy. It's what happens to you when you finally claim what's yours. So that's my story. The coworker who tried to steal credit for my work learned that in the digital age, version control never lies. If you enjoyed this workplace justice story, hit that subscribe button. I post new revenge and karma stories every single day. Drop a comment below. Has anyone ever stolen credit for your work? How did you handle it? I want to hear your stories. And smash that notification bell so you never miss a satisfying revenge tale. Thanks for watching, and remember, always commit your code. Version control doesn't just track changes, it tracks truth.